morning, class. It's so good to see all of your shining faces this morning. Hope everyone is awake and ready for today. Before we begin today's lesson, let's review a little bit of what we learned yesterday. Yesterday we talked about shapes. We talked about circles, triangles, rectangles, and all sorts of other different shapes. We also talked a little bit about what it means to be congruent. When shapes that are congruent, that means that they are the same shape and the same size. All around us, there are many different shapes in our everyday life. There are also different shapes of congruent figures. Today we'll be talking about symmetry. I love symmetry. I think it's so much fun and actually a pretty simple and easy lesson. I think today will be a very fun day for everyone. Symmetry describes a way in which a single figure can be divided into two parts that are the same size and the same shape. In other words, if you cut a square down the middle, it is going to be the same shape and same size on both sides. Let's talk about some examples of symmetry, starting with the butterfly. I'm going to put this butterfly on the board so that everyone can see it. If I were to draw a line directly down the middle of this butterfly, it would have what we call line symmetry. So if I go straight down the middle, it's going to be the same size and the same shape on each side. What this means is that each side is going to be exactly the same. Does everyone understand what it means to have symmetry?
So if you cover up one side at a time, each side will be exactly the same.
Yes, let's take it slow and let's cover up each side. So if I cover up the left side of the butterfly, this side is going to be the exact same as if I cover up the right side. Does everyone see that? Okay. Let's look at another example. Okay. In this picture, I have 4 different shapes that we're going to look at. Okay. In the first picture, we can see that there are no lines of symmetry. Let me make this a little bigger. Okay. We can see that if we make a line going like this side does not match this side. And if we make a line going straight down, it does not match. This side does not match this side either. So there are no lines of symmetry in this picture. Can anyone tell me how there are no lines of symmetry in the first picture?
There are no lines because any way you divide it, the pieces are not the same.
Great job. That's exactly right. I'm glad that you are all understanding this and doing a great job with it. Next, we can see that there is only one line of symmetry. Let's draw the second picture a little bigger. Okay. We can see that if we draw one line down the middle, it's going to have one line of symmetry. This side, right here, is the same exact as this side. In the third picture, there are 3 different lines of symmetry. Can someone please come to the board and draw the 3 ways that you can make a triangle symmetrical? Here's the marker. Good. 2, 3. Perfect. From what Judy did, we can see that the picture has 3 lines of symmetry that are very easy to see. Finally, the last picture is of a circle. So if we draw a circle on the board, we can see that any way you divide this, it's going to have the exact same size and shape on each side. So what we call circle is that it has infinite line symmetry. Everyone is doing so great, and I'm very proud of how hard all of you are working. For our last example, I want someone to come up to the board and draw a line through these shapes that I'm going to put on the board and tell me if they're symmetrical or if they don't have some symmetry and how many lines of symmetry each one has. I'm going to ask Whitley to come to the board, please. All you need to do is find how these figures are symmetrical or how they are not. You can draw them yourself to make them bigger. Okay, this has 0. Good. Next, she's going to draw a diamond. And if she draws it that way, there's 2 sides that are the same. And if she draws it that way, there's 2 that are the same. Good.
Triangle.
And triangle is what she did earlier, which is going to have how many? 3. Good job. And last. Good. Excellent job. Thank you. That's excellent job, Lily. Is anyone having any trouble understanding this at all?
No, this is actually kind of fun, Miss Hughes.
Good. That's exactly what I was hoping for. If no one has any questions, we'll begin today's activity. First, we are going to start out with students coming to the board and choosing a picture from my bag. And then I want you to draw it on the board and tell me whether or not it is symmetrical, just to check and see if everyone is absolutely understanding what we're doing. While someone is at the board, I want you all to get in groups of 3 or 4, working together with some shapes that I've already cut out. You will be able to fold these shapes any way that you want and try to find out if they're symmetrical or how they're not. Once we're done, I'm going to put all of our shapes on our symmetrical tree on the board. I hope that you are all enjoying this activity. So, to begin, let's have our first volunteer come pick out a shape of the bag. Okay. Square. Good. Okay. So she picked a square out of the bag, and she's going to show us how many lines of symmetry the square has. And our drawings may not be perfect, but a real square would have the exact same side. Good. So she has 2 so far, 3, and 4. Excellent job. Okay, you can stay here, and I'll go ahead and let you do it one more time while everyone else is picking out their shapes. Working on that. Okay, good job. We see this because we can use different colors to show how the square has different lines of symmetry. Okay, what did you get? A star? Okay, great. You draw a star on the board and tell me how many lines of symmetry it has. Great. So it has how many lines of symmetry? 1. Great. Okay, thank you. Can you erase that and you can go straight back down? There is 1 line of symmetry looking at it this way. But stars also have rotational symmetry. This is where if we were to have a cutout of the star, we could rotate it and it would have the exact same line in every spot. But we will learn about rotational symmetry tomorrow. So for today, let's draw the 1 line of symmetry that we see. Everyone is doing so great, and I see that you are all working very hard with your symmetrical shapes. I will give you a few more minutes to work on these while I draw our symmetry tree on the board, and then I will come by and get the shapes to put on the board. If anyone is having trouble with their shapes, please raise your hand and I'll be coming by to check on everyone. Just keep working on shapes and we'll put them